It was the Monday after spring break. The hall smelled like fresh backpacks and leftover lunchboxes. I was leaning against the north wall, sipping lukewarm coffee, watching kids drag backpacks twice their size. Rex, my German Shepherd partner, padded beside me, tail wagging like always. Then I saw him, a new face at room 204. "Morning," the guy said, holding out his hand as I approached. I shook it, eyes narrowing a bit. "Officer Miles." "Daniel Blake." "Filling in for Mrs. Canfield," he said, his smile practiced. "Too neat." Rex stiffened immediately. His ears went up, his body tense. I put a hand on his harness, whispering, "It's okay, Rex." But his eyes never left Blake. Blake noticed and raised an eyebrow. "Don't worry, I don't smell like bacon, or anything." I chuckled nervously. "He's just reading the room. Probably still in vacation mode." Blake stepped into the classroom, clipboard under his arm. The kids filed in behind him, chatting and laughing. Everything seemed normal on the surface. Rex's gaze stayed locked on Blake's back as he disappeared behind the door. I crouched beside Rex, scratching behind his ears. "What do you see, boy?" He didn't answer, of course, but his posture told me something was off. Not the usual bark or growl. This was different. Quiet, tense, like a shadow sensing a storm before it hits. A teacher walked by, glancing down at Rex. "Does he always get this worked up around substitutes?" "Not like this," I said. "I don't know what it is, but Rex feels it." Later, I pulled Blake aside in the hallway. "Everything good with the kids?" I asked. He smiled, smooth as ever. "They're great. I'm just here to help." Nodded, but Rex's low growl under my hand told a different story. That night I sat by Rex thinking about that stiff posture, the way his eyes never blinked when Blake passed. I'd been on the force for over a decade and handled a lot of situations, but this felt different. I looked down at Rex. "You're the only one who sees it right now." He licked my hand like he understood. Tomorrow we'd watch. And wait, because sometimes instincts speak louder than words. "Hey, Henry." Mrs. Carlson waved from her classroom door. "Rex seems a little tense today. Is he okay?" I glanced down at Rex, who was standing stiff like a statue, ears pointed, straight ahead, eyes locked on Blake as he walked down the hall. "Yeah, he's fine. Just watching," I said, but my voice didn't sound as sure as I wanted. Mrs. Carlson shrugged and smiled politely. "Maybe he just doesn't like substitute teachers. Happens sometimes." I wanted to agree, but Rex's body said otherwise. I knelt beside him, whispering, "What do you see, boy? You've never been this alert around anyone before." Rex didn't move but didn't relax either. His tail didn't wag. It hung low but stiff, his breathing shallow. Blake passed us again, holding a clipboard, looking perfectly calm. "Officer Miles, Rex doesn't seem too friendly today," he joked, flashing that same practiced smile. I forced a laugh. "He's not usually this vocal indoors. Maybe he picked up something weird. Maybe," Blake said, eyes flicking to Rex briefly. "Or maybe Rex just knows I'm new and still testing the waters." I nodded, but inside, something tightened. Rex's alertness wasn't just new. It was focused, targeted. Later, I caught Blake alone near the teacher's lounge. "You settling in okay?" I asked. "Absolutely," he said smoothly. "These kids are great. You've got a fantastic partner there." He nodded toward Rex. "Yeah, he's sharp, sometimes too sharp." Blake smiled, almost too easy. "Better safe than sorry, right?" I watched him walk away and muttered, "Yeah, better safe than sorry." That night I couldn't shake the feeling. Rex's quiet warnings echoed louder than any bark. Teachers brushed it off, but I didn't. "Rex," I said, running my hand along his fur. "You're seeing something no one else is. We'll figure it out." He rested his head on my knee, eyes steady and calm, but I knew better. The silence between his alerts was louder than words. It was just after 11 when it happened. I was walking down the east hallway near the cafeteria when I heard it. Rex's bark, sharp, loud, impossible to ignore. I stopped dead. "Rex?" I said, hand tightening on his harness. He barked again, twice this time, not playful, not accidental. Focused, like he was shouting a warning. Blake was right there, guiding a group of kids down the hall. He stopped, glanced back at us, raising an eyebrow. "Did Rex just bark at me?" he asked with a smirk. I forced a smile. "Yeah, he's not usually this vocal indoors." Blake chuckled. "Maybe he just doesn't like substitute teachers." The kids around started looking, some whispering, others giggling. A few teachers peeked out from doorways, eyebrows raised. I crouched beside Rex, calming him down. "Easy, Rex, what's wrong, boy?" Rex stayed tense, eyes locked on Blake as if waiting for something. His tail was low but stiff. I looked up at Blake. "Everything okay?" "Sure," Blake said smoothly. "Maybe Rex's hearing's just sharper than mine. Or his instincts," I muttered under my breath. Later, I pulled Blake aside in the teacher's lounge. "Listen, Rex gave a pretty clear signal today. This isn't normal." Blake leaned in, voice quiet but confident. "You worry too much, Henry. I'm here to help. The kids like me." "Rex doesn't lie," I said bluntly. "And he's never barked like that before." Blake's smile tightened just a bit. "Dogs are animals. They don't understand people like we do." I didn't reply. Instead, I watched him leave, feeling a chill crawl up my spine. That night, Rex lay beside me, unusually restless. I whispered, "What did you see, Rex?" "Tell me." He looked up, eyes steady but unreadable. No bark this time, just silence, and in that silence I heard everything I needed to know. I caught Blake kneeling by a small girl one afternoon. Laya, I'd heard teachers mention her name in passing. Quiet kid, kept to herself mostly. Blake's hand rested lightly on her shoulder like he was comforting her. I stepped closer, clearing my throat. "Laya, everything okay?" She jumped, eyes wide, then looked down at her shoes. Blake straightened, smiling at me. "Just helping her with her backpack." "Sure," I said, eyeing them both. Rex growled low, barely audible, but enough to make me freeze. "Easy, Rex," I whispered, keeping my voice calm. Blake looked at Rex and then back at me. "He's very protective, huh?" I nodded slowly, watching Laya fidget. "Laya, you know you can talk to me, right?" She swallowed hard, voice barely above a whisper. He says it's a secret game." "A secret game?" I frowned. Laya nodded, eyes darting around. "Only special kids play." Blake cleared his throat. "It's just a way to help kids feel important," he said smoothly. But Rex nudged Laya's wrist gently with his nose. I crouched beside her. "You don't have to keep secrets that make you uncomfortable, okay?" She hesitated, then whispered, "He says I'm silly when I say I don't like it." I glanced at Blake, who was watching me with that calm, practiced smile. "Laya," I said softly, "if someone makes you feel bad, you tell me. No matter what." She nodded slowly but didn't look at me. Blake stepped away, saying, "I'll give you some space." As he walked off, I bent down again. "You're safe here." She looked up, eyes shining with a mix of fear and relief. "I promise." Later, in my patrol car, I spoke into the radio. "Dispatch Unit 12 concerned about interaction between Blake and student Laya. She's nervous, talking about a secret game." The reply was routine. "Copy that, Unit 12. Keep us posted." I sighed, running my hands through my hair. Rex rested his head on my lap, sensing my worry. "Something's not right," I muttered. Rex gave a soft whine. That night, I couldn't shake Laya's trembling voice or Rex's warning growls. I whispered, "We're going to get to the bottom of this. I promise." I sat in front of the monitor, watching the grainy footage loop again. Blake's calm face, those same practiced smiles. But the tape showed something else. Shadows lurking behind the surface. I tapped my radio. "Dispatch, Unit 12. I'm reviewing Blake's files. Something's not adding up. Go ahead, Unit 12. I sighed. His references, forged. His background, multiple names, different states. My heart thudded. How did he slip through the cracks? Keep us posted. Rex lay beside me, restless. Every time Blake appeared on screen, Rex's ears perked. Body tense, I muttered. You're onto something, boy. I can feel it. Later, at the staff meeting, Principal McLaren glanced at me. Henry, any updates on Mr. Blake? I've found discrepancies in his records, I said quietly. Fake references, multiple identities. Her face tightened. We'll look into it. I caught Mrs. Jenkins in the hallway. You noticed anything odd with Blake? She shook her head slowly. Quiet, polite. But some kids seemed uneasy. Laya's been withdrawn since he arrived. I nodded. Rex isn't relaxing around him either. A teacher nearby whispered, Dogs sense things we miss. That night, I reviewed the school's incident reports. No formal complaints, just uneasy glances, half-spoken worries. I ran a hand over Rex's head. We're not imagining this. He growled softly, low and warning. I thought about Laya's secret game and Rex's unyielding stare. Something was wrong. I could feel it tightening like a noose around the school's halls. I spoke softly. We're close, Rex. Just have to keep digging. Rex nudged my hand. In the quiet, I promised myself I'd find the truth before it was too late. It was early. Monday morning. I was parked near the cafeteria loading dock, sipping cold coffee and watching the school doors. Rex sat alert in the back seat, eyes sharp. Suddenly, the hallway camera flickered. Movement. I tapped my tablet. Hallway 2C, 6:32 a.m. That's too early. The screen showed a tall man, jacketed, no badge, moving near the kindergarten wing. My gut twisted. Unit 3, I said softly into the radio. We've got unauthorized motion inside the east wing. Adult male, no ID, investigating. I grabbed Rex's leash. Come on, boy, let's go. We entered through the northeast access door. The lights were dim. Our footsteps echoed. Rex was calm but watching everything. Halfway down the hall, he froze. Ears up, body rigid. Then the growl deep and low, followed by a sharp repeated bark. I rounded the corner and saw Blake. He was crouched, hand in his bag, fiddling with the kindergarten classroom door. Blake, I shouted. Step away from the door now. He jerked upright, eyes wide. Rex lunged forward, stopping just short, barking nonstop, blocking Blake's path. Hands where I can see them, I ordered. Blake's face drained of color. Okay. Drop the bag, I said, pointing at his hand. He let it fall with a soft thud. I kicked it away, then cuffed him quickly. Dispatch, I radioed, voice steady despite the adrenaline. Unit 12 at Whitmore. Subject detained near kindergarten wing. Initiating soft lockdown. The PA system crackled. Attention staff, lockdown protocol in effect. This is not a drill. The halls emptied fast. Teachers locked doors, ushering kids under desks. The tension was electric. Rex stayed focused, eyes never leaving Blake. That calm, unreadable gaze. Later, in the holding room, Blake sat with that same blank expression, like this was a mild inconvenience. I picked up the dropped bag. Inside, a school-issued tablet, an external hard drive, chewing gum, and a second phone. No lock screen, no ID. I slipped the phone into an evidence bag, heart pounding. You were right, Rex, I whispered, kneeling beside him. You knew. He flicked his ears but stayed alert, watching the locked classroom door like he expected something worse. That night I sat on the edge of my bed, running my hand along Rex's fur. You saved them today, I said quietly. He licked my wrist, resting his chin on my knee. I closed my eyes, knowing this was only the beginning. The next day, Detective Stinson from Cybercrimes pulled me aside. That second phone you found, it wasn't as clean as Blake thought. I frowned. What do you mean? We cracked it, Stinson said grimly, handing me a folder. Hidden photos, dozens of them. Parks, playgrounds, school hallways, Whitmore's. Front entrances here too. I flipped through the images. None showed any violence, but the kids looked too young, unaware. How long has he been doing this? I asked. At least 2 years, different states, different schools, moving fast. My stomach turned. And the files? The background check? Forged. Multiple identities, fake references. One school had a vague complaint about a substitute. No follow-up, no charges. I swallowed hard. So he's been hiding behind these masks all along. Stinson nodded. He's a predator, always just one step ahead. I walked back into the school, heart heavy. Teachers eyed me as I passed, whispers hanging in the air. Principal McLaren called me to her office. "Henry, what exactly did you find?" I laid out everything. The forged papers, the photos, the complaints. She sighed. "We never expected this." I shook my head. Neither did Rex. His warnings made sense now. I thought about Laya, quiet and scared. Rex's growls, the secret game. That dog saved these kids, I said softly. McLaren nodded. "We'll inform the parents carefully. No panic." Walking the halls felt different now. The calm was gone, replaced by silent fear. In the break room, a teacher whispered, "I always felt something was off." I nodded. We ignored the signs. Back at my desk, Rex rested his head on my shoe. "Good boy," I said. "You saw what no one else could." He looked up, eyes steady. "I promised myself and Rex we wouldn't let this happen again. This school would heal. Because sometimes the truth hides behind the quietest mask. And sometimes it takes a dog's bark to expose it." I found Laya sitting alone in the counselor's office, her fingers tracing the edge of a crumpled paper. Rex lay quietly at her feet, eyes watching her every move. "Hi, Laya," I said softly, sitting beside her. "How are you feeling today?" She shrugged, not meeting my eyes. "Okay, I guess." Counselor Bree smiled gently. "Take your time, Laya. We're here to listen." I looked down at Rex. "You've been a good friend to her, haven't you, boy?" Rex gave a soft whine, nudging Laya's hand with his nose. She finally looked up, eyes glossy but steady. I want to tell," she whispered. "Whenever you're ready," I said. She took a shaky breath. "He called it a secret game, said it was just for special kids." "Did it make you feel scared?" Bree asked kindly. Laya nodded, biting her lip. "Yes, but I promised not to tell." I placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did the right thing telling us." She looked at Rex, then me. He slipped notes into my desk. Told me to keep it quiet. My heart clenched. "Did he ever hurt you?" "No," she whispered. But it wasn't right. Rex stayed still, eyes locked on Laya, as if guarding her from the shadows. After the session, Bree filed a report, her face serious but calm. I stayed outside the door listening to their quiet conversation, knowing Laya was starting to heal. Later, I walked through the school, watching Rex greet kids with his usual calm. But when Laya passed by, he lingered, sitting close as if protecting her invisible wounds. A teacher caught my eye. "That dog's more than a partner, he's a guardian." I nodded, feeling the weight of that truth. That afternoon, Principal McLaren called me. "Laya's parents want to meet." "I'll be there," I said. In the meeting, her mother cried softly, her father silent but grateful. "She's so brave," her mom said. I agreed. She had a quiet protector by her side. Walking out, I whispered to Rex, "We're not done yet." He looked up, eyes steady and sure. Together, we'd face whatever came next. Because sometimes, courage isn't loud. It's the quiet strength in a scared girl and the unwavering watch of a loyal dog. The morning after Blake's arrest felt strangely quiet. No flashing cameras, no headlines screaming across the news. Just the steady hum of a school trying to heal. Principal McLaren called me into her office. "Henry, the parents received the letter. They want reassurance." I nodded. "We'll keep things calm but transparent." A teacher stopped me in the hall. "Rex saved us all. I don't know what would have happened without him. I smiled, but inside, I felt the weight. He just followed his instincts. Later, Laya came up, to me clutching a small card. "For Rex," she whispered. I watched as she pressed a glittering star sticker onto Rex's collar. "He's my hero," she said quietly. I crouched beside Rex. "You did good, boy." His tail gave a slow wag. Parents began walking their kids to class instead of dropping them off. Teachers spoke softly about safety. The tension was still there, but less sharp. At the staff meeting, McLaren said, "Trust has been broken, but it can be rebuilt." I added, "We owe that to Rex and to kids like Laya who found the courage to speak." That night I sat on my porch, Rex beside me. "You did good, partner," I said. He licked my hand, eyes warm. Justice came quietly, but healing would take time. Still, every day I saw hope. Quiet steps toward trust, protected by a dog who saw what others missed, and that made all the difference. The gym was packed, the air thick with whispers. I stood beside Rex, feeling the weight of every eye on us. No medals, no loud applause, just quiet respect. Principal Howard cleared his throat. "Before we end today, I want to recognize someone who doesn't often get the spotlight." He gestured toward Rex, lying calmly at my feet. A soft murmur spread through the crowd. I think we all owe a silent thanks to Officer Miles and his K-9 partner Rex. Their instincts saved this school. A few teachers nodded. Parents whispered thank yous. The kids clapped softly, some wide-eyed. I crouched, running a hand through Rex's fur. "You don't need medals, boy. You've done more than enough." A little girl from 2nd grade approached quietly. Laya. She pulled a small gold star from her backpack and pressed it gently onto Rex's collar. He blinked once and leaned into her hand. "See that?" I whispered. "That's real gratitude." Later, as the gym emptied, I caught the principal's eye. She smiled, tired but genuine. Walking the halls again, I felt lighter. The weight of what we'd faced was still there, but hope was stronger. Rex trotted ahead, tail wagging slightly, greeting kids and teachers. Sometimes words aren't needed. A dog's bark, a loyal presence. That's enough to keep watch. Back, in the cruiser, I looked down at Rex. "We're ready for whatever comes next." He gave a soft whine, eyes steady. "Out here, in these halls and playgrounds, we're silent guardians. We speak through actions, through trust. And sometimes, that's all a school needs to feel safe again."